happening? Alright, this video today gonna be about breaking out of your shell / comfort zone. Basically, crabs leave their shells when they outgrow them. It's important that they leave their shell when they outgrow them, because if they don't, they'll get stuck. Now, when I talk about crabs getting stuck in their shell, people are the same way. It's just different. We don't walk around carrying a shell, but we walk around in a shell. If you get what I'm saying. There's two types of shells. Alright, you got the mental shell. That's internal. Then you got the environmental shell. That's external. Now when the crab stay in the shell, you can imagine how much it hurt when a big ass crab in a tiny ass shell, because he's scared to leave the motherfucker. Some people never left their own hood. They never got to travel. They never got to see that there's other stuff outside of where they at. And they can meet other people with different perspectives. So when you're stuck in a shell, it limits your growth. A mental shell is, to me, it's harder to break out of. See, it's hard for a lot of people to do that shit because they get attached. They get attached. Anything else other than that shell will make them feel uncomfortable, just because of the fact that they used to that certain shell. They used to that shell. They figured, hey, if the shell got me this far, why change shells? Why break out of it? But they never asked that question. Will staying in this shell get them any further, or get them to the destination that they want to get to? Especially if the shell that they in now is not helping. It's actually hurting. A big ass crab in a small ass shell that he's scared to leave out of, they can hurt him physically. But with people, with human beings, that shit can fuck you up mentally. Now this is the hard part. When crabs leave their shells, that's when they're the most vulnerable. And we can look at a crab that outgrew its shell, and we can see the risk, but we can also see that the risk is worth the reward. No more pain. The crab ain't hurt no more. It's more comfortable. When soon as it goes from that risk from leaving the shell, see, the first risk is leaving your comfort zone. You gotta leave that motherfucker. The only way we can grow is if we be vulnerable. Because when we vulnerable, we gonna make sure that we never feel that way again. So the crab leaves its shell. The whole time it's going to another shell, it's vulnerable. It could get attacked by any kind of predator. But once it get to that new shell, the crab can move easier now. It has a bigger shell where it can hide itself in to protect itself from predators. Being vulnerable for that split time, for that time frame to where they moving from that shell they've outgrown to the shell that can fit them, they would rather do that than to suffer. They can't move in no shell that they've outgrown. What's the point of being in a shell that you've outgrown, that you can't move around in? What's the point? Would you rather be in a shell that you've outgrown, you can't move around in? Or would you rather just sacrifice and risk that time being vulnerable just to find a shell that fits you? First step is recognizing when you've outgrown your shell. Now that's all I got for today, y'all. So yeah. Alright, world. I'll holler.